Good evening, seventh grade Loving Good students and families. My name is Mr. Bailey and I am the proud principal here at Loving Good Middle School. Welcome to our virtual open house. It was a Friday, March 13th. That was the last day that we were here in the building face to face with all of our students. Now, since then, so much has occurred that our students have had to experience, and they possibly, or more than likely, are now asking, what's next? Well, hopefully, we will be able to provide you some clarity and ease some of your concerns with how the virtual remote schedule, how it all will pan out, and how it will affect you and how instruction will be delivered. But first, let's hear from Ms. Julkes, your seventh grade administrator, and Ms. Bauer, your seventh grade counselor.
Hello, my name is Abby Julkes, and I am the seventh grade administrator here at Loving Good Middle School. I would like to welcome all seventh grade students and parents to a brand new school year and welcome to Open House. Loving Good's mission is to develop a culture of clear, consistent, and creative practices that cultivate student achievement. And my job here is to encourage those practices and to also help students to achieve at their maximum abilities. As an administrator, I'm here to support, serve, and hopefully inspire. And I know that we're teaching and learning remotely at the start of this year, but I believe that we can inspire each other. I know that you know that learning does not end at the end of seventh grade, middle school, high school, or even college. I learn something new every day, so I am humbled and excited to take this journey with you this year. And if you need anything at all, I'm here to support you. You can contact me via email or you can give me a phone call. I hope to see you soon.
Hi, seventh graders and families. Welcome to my virtual office. I just wanted to introduce myself real quick. I am Mrs. Bauer and I am your seventh grade school counselor. All of your teachers will have a link to this virtual office located on their home pages in CTLS. Click on it if you need to get a hold of me. I've got a forms page set up so you can set up at a time that we can chat, or you can also email me. It's kathleen.bauer@cobbk12.org. I'm looking forward to working with all of you seventh graders and helping you out through the school year. And just because we are not meeting for the first time in person doesn't mean you are alone in this. Let me know how I can help. Take care.
Thank you, Ms. Julkes and Ms. Bauer. And I want to piggyback off of what Ms. Bauer was talking about a little bit as it pertains to counseling services and just the need sometimes for some emotional assistance. As I said, since March 13th, we understand that our students have not been in the building. So much has occurred, whether it's the COVID-19, the social unrest, as we've seen protests erupt across the nation over racial inequality. Students have developed a sense of anxiety or even social withdrawal based on all the social distancing. And if our students have been watching the news a lot, well, that can be a bit depressing as well. So as adults, we have to understand that our students have endured an emotional roller coaster, and we have to be cognizant of this as we're dealing with our students, both from a school perspective and from a family perspective. And so as adults, it becomes difficult sometimes for us because we too are dealing with similar frustrations to a maximum level at times. There's some frustration that you may be having as it pertains to school, one of which is all of the schedule changes. You may be asking, why does the schedule continue to change? Well, I can say that typically all of these changes occur before we actually go live with the schedule, even though no schedule is perfect and there's always some minor tweaks that you would have to make. But this is a different year. We did not want to delay releasing the schedules because we wanted to make sure that we could have this virtual open house because we wanted you and your student to be exposed to the different teaching strategies that your teacher will be utilizing this year, and also to become more comfortable with the instructor. But you may also become frustrated on how to find information because it seems like we've been inundated with so much information coming from all these different areas. Sometimes it's just simply difficult to locate it. The virtual learning process. Many people have said this is not the ideal way to educate students. And I must admit, it's not the perfect scenario, but we do have to accept the cards that we've been dealt and make the most out of it. And I'm telling you, our teachers here at Love and Good are dedicated to doing just that. Digital glitches. Next week will be the first time that everyone is on the CTLS platform at the same time, trying to do live instruction, live introduction. So please understand, more than likely there will be some digital glitches, but we will work through that. And then just our personal lives in general, because all of us have certain frustrations that we are dealing with. It's just all about how it manifests itself and us being able to target our frustrations in the right area. One more thing that I wanted to add as it pertains to schedules. If your scheduling issue is dealing with AC placement, please refer to our AC matrix. It has been on our school website for several weeks. You go to the top left, click on menu, and then curriculum, and you will see the AC matrix. So if you have questions concerning your student and AC placement, please make sure you refer to that AC matrix. So I talked about CTLS. It's a one-stop shop. Very important to note that CTLS Learn will replace teacher blogs. This is where you can see everything your student is doing and expected to do. Your students' teachers will be able to make posts. And again, you'll be able to see the teacher resources and everything that your student is expected to do and the instructions that your student has received. So it's very important that you go into CTLS Learn with your student, not to be confused with CTLS Parent. That is where you will receive strictly parental information. My weekly communication has came through CTLS Parent. Now, you're probably sitting there wondering, okay, I'm not understanding the CTLS Learn. When does my student log in or find out how to do that? Well, the district will be communicating specific instructions on how your student will log into CTLS Learn and all of the different functions of CTLS Learn later this week. So please be looking out from that district communication. So again, when we are dealing with this frustration, it is easy to become overwhelmed, whether you're a teacher, administrator, district personnel, students, or our families. It's easy to become overwhelmed with everything that's occurring right now. Now, here's the thing. If everyone is overwhelmed, it is very important for all of us to remember that feeling of being overwhelmed when someone else is requesting empathy from us. That empathy comes with some collective commitments. And I've talked about this on my weekly communication, but we are developing an actual document of all of the things that we are committed to providing you, the community, as well as some of the commitments we need for the community to provide to us. Hopefully by Friday, I will be able to publish that document, but I can tell you, just to summarize, that we are definitely committed here to communication, to providing intervention and acceleration opportunities for your student. Teachers will be available to conference. And one of the main things that we're committed to doing is providing the live instruction that many of you wanted in the spring. Again, this will be different from the spring. Our teachers have been able to capitalize or enhance some of the things that they did well in the spring with no true preparation. and also to figure out different ways to improve the process to facilitate learning for your students. So those are some of the things that we are committed to doing. Now, if you can look at those diagrams, I've never have been one to say that there's never going to be conflict, but there's two ways you can handle it. We can come together and become pieces to the puzzle, or we can go back and forth playing tug of war. Being collectively coming together to be pieces of the puzzle are productive. Playing tug of war all day is simply counterproductive to what we're trying to accomplish for our students. But now, empathy is also not diabolically opposed to accountability, because you have to have both. Now, if you remember in the spring, you ended up with a pass or fail, and there was a lot of concerns about grading, about attendance. All of those things will be present this go around with our virtual remote learning. So there will be accountability, there will be grades. And so we want your students to be accountable with taking their virtual learning seriously, and also reaching out for help when and if they need it. Part of that accountability piece goes along with digital behavior. And these are just some broad expectations. We are expecting students to log in on time, to dress appropriately and be in a learning mindset when they're on camera. And we do encourage students to have their camera on. Also, we recommend finding a consistent workspace for your student to work in. And families should not engage educators during instruction if they have any questions or concerns. What we want to do is to make sure that that the live instruction that the teachers are delivering is the opportunity for the student to focus solely on what's going on in that classroom. Now, when families have concerns, it is incumbent upon you to make sure you reach out to the teacher, set up either a phone conference. Sometimes it could be handled through email, or we could also have a virtual conference. So communication is a two-way street. And we all know on two-way streets, you can also have two-way traffic. But typically when everyone is patient throughout the process, the traffic will eventually, efficiently ease up. And so that's all that I'm really trying to promote to you, the parents and students. We both have to engage each other with respect, patience, and grace, because this is an unprecedented situation. And unprecedented means there is no rule book for us to follow. But again, we are dedicated to providing the best service that we possibly can while being empathetic to each other and being patient. I want parents to know that every morning I will still be doing morning announcements. The morning announcements will be on the school website by 10 o'clock every morning. And for students, your teachers will also be showing some of the morning announcements during your homeroom period. And I'm also going to ask some students sometimes to join me, because hey, we're going to make it through this. Besides, we don't have a choice but to. So I want to welcome everyone again to Love and Good's virtual open house. I hope you hear a lot of information that will ease some of your concerns. And again, we're going to make it through this, and we are going to have a great year. Thank you, and have a great evening.